Okay, the purpose of shamans. To be fair, I've really tried not to. Well, originally I did have a lot of sort of ideas about what a shaman did particularly when I first started my journey. I realised, now that I really had no real idea what a shaman was, and I never really sort of thought about what I thought about a shaman was, and I realised, as I started going to these retreat centres that I put the shamans up on some sort of pedestal, being some sort of god or something like that, which is not healthy. And don't get me wrong, I highly respect shamans for what they do and their modalities. I've also learned that and just been reminded that shamans are human beings as well. I had one of the sort of expectations or projections I had was that shamans were very highly conscious people, and to a degree they are in various, but also they can, like all of us, have parts of their lives which are highly unconscious. And so it's like, I realised, the time I realised that these shamans weren't as conscious as what I thought, was like kind of smashed some sort of illusion I had. So it took me a little while to get over that, but I've got over it now. So so it's more, sort of working together. Obviously when you're in ceremony and things, it's their world. So, but overall, trying to just work together. It's for me, feels like it is a whole co-creation between myself, the shaman, the medicines, the universe. Kind of not really one person in charge. It's just sort of we're all working together, flowing together. So I've really tried not to get too many ideas about what shamans are, but I will go through, because I think it's important not to have those, for me anyway, and just to go in and just go, But I will share with you some of the things that I have noticed that they seem to do. And one of them is what I call sort of holding space. So I sort of feel when I go into a ceremony, they create this sort of space, like a protective field around us, and it's their job to create and to maintain and to look after that field. So you might notice, you experience in a ceremony where the ceremony might go around at a certain time and they use agua de flora, and they spray it to clean the energy, and things like that. Or there might be someone that's quite triggered and is really sort of like really adding some energy into the overall field, and so the shaman might go over and help that person, sort of release whatever it is that's going on. So, my own many ceremonies where I've had the shaman come over and give me a tobacco cleaning or clearing, just to help shift something that's quite stuck, that I'm struggling to move myself. Or they also, some of them do a sort of will come and suck the energy out of you and then take it out. So also had beautiful experiences, in the Kitos or in Tamashako particularly, where very traditional shamans singing Ikaros, and I could feel like it was like pulling this energy out of me. It was like this negative stuff, like, oh hallelujah, thank you. So and another example is where one ceremony I was at, and the shaman said to me, said to all of us, if you get into a space where your head, in your head and your mind's going, your thoughts are going, come and see me, and I'll administer some rapé. We have a rapé ceremony. So for those of you that know what rapé is, rapé is like it's a South American snuff, I guess, but it's a medicine. And so basically it's powder, and it's really finely grounded up, and it's the sort of common ingredient generally is tobacco. So it's this tobacco straight out of the jungle, so nothing added to it. And then depending on what the purpose of the rapé is, they mix it with different plants. So one example is, I'll give you, as a friend of mine a couple of years ago, he travels into the interior of Brazil quite regularly to buy rapé from different tribes and things, and he came across this rapé that was made by these women in this particular village, and it was only made by women, and it was blended with roses. And so the purpose of that rapé was to open up crown chakra and then obviously our heart chakra. And so I bought some of that, and the way that you use it is that you put the rapé on your hand as a powder, and then you have a rapé pipe. So then you basically put the powder on your hand, you set an intention and go through and sort of do a bit of a ceremony around it, and then you ingest it. So you basically stick it up and blow it up your nose. And it's like a lot of these plant medicines, they kind of hit you quite hard, boof, and then but bang. And so this one, for example, just my head would just go woof, and it was quite uncomfortable. But I get what felt to me like was just this real, just sort of blasting and clearing out blockages. It's sort of like, well, I could do it another way. Maybe that was slower and less I'll use painful, but challenging, or I could use something like rapé, which which very, very, very fast. So and it's really just where we're at and what we're comfortable doing. So I had the rapé, and then at the ceremony, and just completely grounded, so I felt like I melted into the ground and sort of crawled back to my yoga mat, and was right out of my mind, and was able to really deepen into the process. So that's part of the role that shamans, in my experience, shamans have provided. They and of course, if you're really getting into distress state, as I sort of said, so there's different ways that they can help you with different, tobacco cleaning, sucking the energy out of you. There's all sorts of different things that they can do. So rest assured that's part of what they provide. So, but and also then we just need to be careful too, just about when we engage, and ask for help. It's something, there's, the longer I feel we can stay with our own process and work with it ourselves, the sort of, but then obviously we don't want to, we don't want to make it too painful for ourselves, or we want to. So it's a bit of a fine line, but definitely, the shamans that are, really just feel into it. Really, just whatever you feel, you need, just go from that place. So it's really kind of, I guess, in the ceremony. I guess outside the ceremony, there's obviously, providing guidance and assistance and things, and perhaps explanations. Some shamans I work with been very forthcoming and and basically very available, and other ones basically have said nothing, and so, but whatever, again, this is your journey. So if you want to go and speak to the shaman, go and speak to the shaman. Doesn't matter if it doesn't come across as very open, but this is your journey, and this is part of what they can provide. And I guess just something that popped into my head, just a bit of a caution, I guess. Just be a little bit careful about treating a shaman as a psychotherapist. They're not. All these shamans are not trained in those sorts of things, and I think whilst I'm not saying that they can't help with things, but I think just be careful if they start giving you sort of advice from up here. Just be very wary about that it's not some of their own stuff getting projected onto you. So I'd be very wary about someone that's trying to give me advice in the physical that's going to impact my physical world. If they give me suggestions about how to work with the medicines and things like that, fine. But so just a bit of a warning, or not warning, but just a caution, I guess. And the other thing that they can do, of course, is teach you all about the medicines and the plants. Again, some of them, one guy, plant shaman I worked with, he's got a doctorate in plants, Amazonian plants, and he he would talk to you about plants all day if you wanted to. Knew what they all did, and and work with them and try, and use them, and and then some aren't, some are the opposite, but I find out always the shamans have, particular areas that they kind of are attracted to, which, makes sense. So, it's an opportunity to learn something new. For example, the place I was just at recently, they have stupa at one of their retreat centres, so a Buddhist sort of stupa. So there's an opportunity to go in there and learn more about Buddhism and chanting and things, and it's not, yeah, it's just, you know, and so I was curious, and I really love chanting, especially in a stupa. It's an amazing, beautiful experience. So yeah, you know, there's all sorts of different things. So again, you know, I go back to and I repeat this over and over again, do not get stuck on expectations, just go with what comes up, you know. And so yeah, just to finish up, you know, again, it is your journey, so just reinforce that again. So you know, really be careful not to abdicate your journey to the shaman. So be careful not to think that, you know, the shaman's going to be doing things for you. He's not, or she's not. You know, this is your journey. They're part of the process and facilitating it, just like the jungle is, and the people that are coming around, and the different things you're going to experience, and it's all part of, you know, creating this experience. But you know, we get to create that experience. Our perceptions create our reality. So, you know, if we have this perception that the shaman's some sort of person that's going to show us how we're going to, you know, should live our lives and things like this, and well, you know, it'd be challenging. So I'll leave it at that. So yeah, just some thoughts on the purpose of shaman. So you know, I think for me it's an ongoing, expanding thing. I'll learn more and more and more as I do, you know, learn more about the medicines and things, and you know, it's why it's important to me not to have a definitive definition. It's just an ever evolving, you know, a definition. It feels really important to have that orientation around, you know, the way I view shamans. All right, thank you.